Okay, 8th grade, I have uploaded the sheets for investigation 1.3. This is how you're going to set up your journal for right now. So pause the video and set up just as this. Hit pause. All right, so at this point you should have your notebook set up for investigation 1.3. If you look at the first page that I sent to you guys, you'll see the situation kind of played out here. It says you use tables and graphs to represent relationships between length and area for rectangles with fixed perimeters. In this problem, you're going to write equations for these relationships. So now we're going to take a jump. Yesterday, we looked at patterns that we saw in the data table and the graphs of quadratics, and now we're going to take a peek and see how the equations start to come into play. So you know that the formula for the area of a rectangle with length L and width W is area equals length times width, and the formula for perimeter is P equals 2L plus 2W. We also know that we can create 2 times the quantity L plus W for perimeter. And this is the one that you're really going to see more often in this particular investigation. So what I want you to do right now is pause this video. You have a rectangle, well, in a second, pause the video in a second. You have a rectangle on your notes page. What I want you to do in a moment is pause the video and actually try to figure out these 2 bullet points. So the rectangle below has a perimeter. We know that the perimeter is 20 meters, so all of the sides added up are 20 meters, and we know that the length has been described as L, or it's been identified as L. So using the 2 equations that are up here, possibly one, maybe both, use the fixed perimeter to express the width of this rectangle in terms of L. So basically what that is saying is you're going to have an expression here that has L in it. So can you come up with an equation for the width in terms of L? So if we know the length is L, how do we determine an expression for the width? Once you have done that, write an equation for the area using A for area and L for length as the only variables. So pause your video, think through this a little bit. You're going to have to go back up to these equations that we wrote. If you want to, call a friend or 2 and try to work on this together, and then come back to this video. So hit pause. Okay, so hopefully you are back now and you have attempted to come up with your equations, or your expression for the width. Excuse me. All right, so basically what you're doing here, I know a couple of things. So I know that the perimeter is equal to 20 meters. They give us that information from the get-go. So if I use my perimeter equation, I can fill in what I know. So I know that P is equal to 20. So I can write 20 is equal to 2L plus 2W. 2L plus 2W. If I want to have an expression for width, then what I need to do is I need to get my W alone on one side of the equation. So how do I start doing that? I need to start solving for W. I need to solve for W. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pull out a different color. We'll go blue. My first step is just to solve for W. So take 2L away from both sides. So I'm left on my left side with negative 2L plus 20 is equal to 2W. You'll notice my W is not alone yet. I still have the 2 that's attached to it by multiplication. So if I take both sides and divide it by 2, I'm going to end up with W is equal to, do my distributive property of division, And you should get negative 2L divided by 2 is just negative L. And then 20, positive 20 divided by 2 is a positive 10. So this is my expression for the width. I have negative L plus 10. Negative L plus 10. So if I know now that my length, I'll put it up here. My length is equal to L, and my width is equal to negative L plus 10, I can very easily come up with an equation for the area. So the area, which is length times width, all I'm going to do is plug, I'm going to keep L, that'll be there, and then I'm going to plug negative L, this value, right into the W. So my length times width, my area is going to be L times the quantity negative L plus 10. Negative L plus 10, yes. So this will be my area now. That is your setup for today. What I want you to do is, kind of using this information and how we use the equations to come up with the length and the width. This is a good foundation for where we're going. You're going to go to the next page of what I scanned in for you. Between today and tomorrow, you're going to work on letter A and B. So go ahead and get those complete between today and tomorrow. Remember that I'm always available on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So tomorrow is Thursday for help or extra help if you need it. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.